Hello, welcome back. My name is Vasco, and today I'm just going to talk to a bit quick about nutrition and how to eat to be healthy-ish. And you know how healthy I am. I'm just sleeping a few hours a day, or you know what? Nah, that's false. What is sleep? What is sleep? I haven't slept properly in years. Anyway, today it's time to mourn those of us who try to have a diet or something. The only diet I've ever had is a Diet Coke. But now, let's have some proper one. Time to do some Coke. No, I'm not encouraging you to do some illegal drugs. I'm thinking normal cola. And it's often said that in this line of business, I guess, we don't have normally a healthy diet, and that's true sometimes, like today, when have had a long collab that dragged out for hours and forgot to eat. I just ordered some food, so I got, well, something to eat at least. Because, as with most jobs like this, or even if it's more, I don't know, regular like programming or such, there's still that thing that you know that sometimes if you're studying or working hard and hours just pass by very fast and you just forget to eat. Yeah, that happens to me on a regular basis. Look at me, I'm not a good role model or anything. I'm not even trying to be. If you think that, hey, there's a guy I should look up to. Tip, don't. If you want to laugh, or good or bad laugh, or just some good or bad jokes, please, hello. But life lessons, I don't do many of those, and those I do, I try to make good, but take everything with a very good pile of salt. I would not recommend ordering food home or just delivered every single day. That could be very expensive, and also, depending on the kind of food you're eating, very unhealthy. So, probably wise to cook a meal or 15 yourself during the course of a month or something. I don't know, how much food does a person really need? I don't know. Just some cereal all the time. As me, other cereal, home food delivered, I don't know. We'll find out. If I'm suddenly 15 stone bigger, how much is a stone anyway? A stone is a stone. Yeah, I know that, but still, shut up. Back to more serious things. As you know, I can do for a whole 10 minutes. I hope. Anyway, what I'd like to talk to you about today is Generation Triggered, I think it's called, or whatever we want to call our generation. Sure, some of us are millennials, some are generation, what is it? It was Gen X, and then Gen Y, and then Millennial, C, whatever you want to call it. We are triggered very easily. Way more easily than our parents, or even those born just a few years before us. For me, as one at least, I was bullied a lot as a kid. So much in fact that I didn't make any of my now friends, mostly, until I reached university. Yeah, it took quite a while, to put it mildly. And with that level of harassment I experienced growing up, I became quite thick-skinned and fat. Those have no correlation, just pointing out. Anyway, and so when I began at university a few years back, it was in 2015, I think it was, yeah, 2015. What a year. World should have ended already, but who cares, we didn't have time for that. And when I began university, I quickly experienced that I was with people who actually didn't care about others, they just went along their way. They didn't harass, they didn't bully, they didn't do any of the normal stuff that I was used to. And so I just went my merry way, but I had a few things in my baggage, or in my luggage, in my past, because of All the bullying, I have very thick skin, and so you can insult me for hours upon hours. I won't care. The only thing you do is wasting my time, that's just annoying. That's the only thing you will get out of it. If you want to hurt me, use your fist, not a gosh darn burn or anything. Why? Is that... Am I supposed to get offended? Offended? Me? Oh, I won't be offended. I'll just come with an insult back at you. I know that we're all different. We're all way different people. But at the same time, if you get offended for somebody just yelling their mouth, getting offended a few years back, let's say 10 years, we go back to 2008. Anyway, if someone insulted you or did something that made you triggered and you said, I feel offended, I'm offended by that, people just went, yeah, so? You feel offended, that's the bloody point of me insulting you. And insulting your intelligence and whatever you're wearing, your attire, your gosh darn teeth. I can always find something to insult about you, so what's the point of you getting offended? Well, that's the point of me hazing you or bullying you or telling you whatever. Getting offended is something, yeah sure you can get offended, but who the hell cares that you're offended? Was the culture back then. Now on the other hand, if you get offended, go online, you could at minimum find someone who agrees with you and is offended on your behalf. But what's that going to result into? Let's say that if me and a friend of mine are throwing insults back and forth, I say something that's a bit inconsiderate. He knows I'll do it, so he won't get offended by the fact. If someone, on the other hand, gets offended for him, gets support, I might have to say I'm sorry to them. Why? Why is that a thing in today's society? That, okay, I tell a blind joke to a friend of mine. We have pretty dark humor, both of us. I tell him a blind joke. And I know for a fact that the, well, blind society, if I can call it that, organizations that blind people are members of, they have in between themselves pretty nasty jokes, blind jokes that is, that are way worse than anything I alone can come up with. I've actually talked to them. I tried to send him a letter, but I didn't see a response. Like that. That was one of the jokes I told him. He laughed. Another guy saying right beside us, you can't say that. They're blind, yeah, so what? The second you defend them against that joke, you're distinguishing them, the blind one, and us. You're differentiating between us, basically telling them, okay, because of their disability, you can't mark them on it. Well, the second I am saying it, yeah, I'm making fun of it. I'm not bullying them for it. I'm not intentionally going up to a blind person saying, see you later. Who the hell does that? I'm telling that as a joke just because, well, just because that's not something you're going to do. And it's not as bad as going up to someone who just lost their entire family in a fire, just, hey, want a burnt marshmallow? No. At any case, here, the second you differentiate between, or make an us-them conversation out of basically a joke, where I just pointed out, that's not something good for one who is blind. He can respond with something that is wildly unnatural, or a case that something I should be doing as Tourette, or someone with Tourette. Let's say that you didn't ask for me to become a priest. That's not something I would do. Well, mostly because I'm not going anywhere church. Well, I'm neighbor to one, so maybe I'll do that one day. Anyway, Being a priest with Tourette, that could be very interesting, and I would laugh at that. If he came up with an insult that I would feel like, oh damn, that's true, I would just probably laugh, because I have realized that myself years back. But anyway, blind jokes, deaf jokes, and let's say just dead baby jokes. It depending on who you're telling them to. If I told, let's say a dead baby joke to just a random bloke on the street, that could be problematic. If I told it to a friend of mine who I've known for years, no problem. But you don't go into a birth clinic telling dead baby jokes. At least not the abortion clinic, that would be horrendously bad. Oops. So there's a time and place for everything, people, but what I'm trying to say here is the second you defend someone against a joke, depending on the joke, depending on time, space, of course, if it's not an inconsiderate joke, if it's not a harmful joke, if it's more innocent and educate, don't preach on them. If you know that someone is having a hard time through something and someone like me, a jokester, just comes along and the second I'm going to point it out, just, hey, you can just, hey, what? Come with here. Okay. And that's it. I don't even need to tell it. If you know that I'm going to say something bad, or think so, just stop me in my tracks. Don't let me spout it out and then make a big deal out of it. That's no need. If you think that I'm going to joke about something pretty big, that will hurt that individual, first, depending on how hurt they will be, something, that's where things get complicated. If, let's say, you lose an arm in an accident, I'm going to say at some point something bad, if I see it. Because that's how my brain works, I just make jokes all day. I know if that's part of the brain damage, or if it's an entirely different thing, maybe just a dad brain or something. That is problematic. But to some degree can be hilarious, but in my way of life, it's like, can't laugh about it, what's the point then of doing it? If I have a problem with something, I'll try to laugh about it. Because to disarm it. Something I would say also if you lost your arm. Oh, sorry sir, that you were disarmed. Something like that. I would say at some point if it's someone I know. I would not say it if I just see a random dude on the street. I hope. God, I haven't said that yet. That could be problematic. Random dude number one. Hey, look at that guy. He lost. Put it in blank. Yeah. You get the point. Oh, Jesus. As I fell over. Anyway. You can make fun of people. You can make fun of disabilities, because as long as you keep doing that, you make fun of normal people, you make fun of stupid people, you make fun of everyone. Don't make it so that you can't make fun of some kind of people, because it's then you alienate them, in my book at least. Because if, let's say, there are some groups that we can't make jokes of because they'll retaliate or they'll feel bad. We can't do that, they'll feel bad. Maybe not. Let's ask them. I had a thought in my head the other day of maybe a blind sketch I wanted to see if I can do, or just blind jokes that I wrote down just to check if they're good. And then I actually called the Blind Society or Blind Foundation here in Bergen and asked them, hey, would it be fine if I were to do this and this and this, or say this and this, tell these jokes? She just, I've heard better ones myself, go ahead. And so, fine. I'm that kind, that if I'm thinking that, okay, might be over the line, let me check first with someone. who is in the group or have very good knowledge about it, so they maybe get a bit of, I don't know, a heads up or something. I don't see myself as a big YouTuber at all, but could be wise. So there you go, comments. My blind jokes are approved by the Blind Society themselves. I did not see that coming. Me and my friends, we have pretty dark humor. So they're so dark that we need torches to just see them. I have a lot of very bad jokes, but at the same time, I have some good ones. Here's a tip. Make fun of everything as long as you can think this. If someone told you the joke, and you were in that scenario, how the hell would you react? If you would A, kill them, 2, punch them, or Z, laugh? Depending on your answer, please do it or don't do it. Political correctness, or whatever you want to call it, let's say that it's generation offended or generation triggered, they're saying only that. What would this world or society even turn out to be? A place where you have to get your jokes approved before just opening your mouth? Not my society. You know that I'm way faster than that. I don't even give a damn about getting things approved. Just, can I get this approved? Ah! Yeah, that's probably how it would go. Getting things approved. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, that's probably how jokes are going to be in the future if they get what they want. And that's just bloody... What's the point of making a joke then? If you have to go for a committee. And please, if you have any jokes directed to me or my companions, please type them in the comments. If you're going to insult me, please do it in a good way. Yeah, I appreciate a good insult. I love them.